Cool. I'm gonna change my name to my @ I don't know if you want to change yours too.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. Elmachias is streaming, just chatting. Watch now. Yeah, well, I got to wait for the ad.
Yeah. We got an ad. Oh, I don't like that we have to do that, but I guess it makes sense. Okay, we got that, and then
Well, you get part of that, don't you?
maybe, I don't know. I think so.
There we go.
I think so.
You got that? Yeah, we're live.
Cool. Yo, we'll wait for people to get. Once you guys are in here, make sure you say hey, so we know you're here. I'm gonna put some pillows behind me. Keep it real. But what was I gonna say? I missed you last week, man.
Yeah, I was sitting in San Diego when we were getting ready to eat, and it was like, man, I really wish I was there. Except I was having fun in San Diego.
Yeah, I wanted to just log you in. I wanted to just like have you jump in out of nowhere. I know you're obviously doing important things, but it would have been funny.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
She sounded like she was fantastic, though.
Oh, very good. Yasi was like such a good demeanor, such a good vibe.
That's what matters.
Yeah, we'll have Carlos in here soon, guys. Steve and I are just catching up and hanging. But yeah, tell me about San Diego. You hung out with the wife and the child, or the son.
Yeah, I'm logging in. I can't type password at the same time as talk.
I get it.
Yeah, we went to. I can't remember the name of the restaurant now. Actually,
the Australian one, right? Or New Zealand?
No, New Zealand one. Yeah,
it's called.
And we'd been there before and absolutely loved it. The food is great. The drinks are great.
Yeah.
Let me get my. They're telling me that they texted me my code. I need to do that.
Get your code, man. Get your code.
I'm behind.
That's all good. What up, Connor? Started a little early to give people a chance to get in here.
There. That should get me in. Hey, Connor. How are you, my friend? So, yeah, San Diego was great.
People were chatting.
Of course,
there we go.
There was nobody out.
Wait, we got people here. We got Josh Moose. Hit him, Steve. Hit him with the hay. Who we got? I got Josh Moose, Savannah. I know Savly. Lost Before Fate.
Let's see who else we got. We got Connor's in there, obviously.
Cornish.
Michelle is in here. Nice.
Oh, Michelle, what up?
Yeah.
Cornish gamer.
I love following her on Twitter.
Yeah, she's good. Good vibes. I like what she pushes.
Dr. Clown.
Ooh, that's a new one. Dr.
Kiki's
Clown PF Art.
Clown. Yeah, PF Art. I think it's P Fart.
Dr. Clown. That's pretty funny. Oh, yeah. Man. That's funny.
What is that last
Kiki.
one? Yeah, Kiki's here.
Kiki, of course, the OG.
Lost B. Wait.
Hey, yeah, what up, guys?
Lost B for...
Who's Vic? What's up, Vic?
Oh, for Fate. Okay.
Thank you for uploading your edits. Yeah. What's up? What up? And we got Nia Julian. How's it going, everybody? Happy Sunday.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I like coming in a little early, saying hey to everybody. I feel like we always miss that part of it. We got to work on that, Steve.
Yeah, this is I like kind of the like the green room, just to sit and talk to everybody in the chat.
Drink.
It's kind of nice.
Cheer. You got a drink today? I got tea. What are you drinking? Gatorade?
Gatorade.
Everybody, what are you guys drinking today? Let's go. Steph McID.
I almost brought a whiskey.
Alex Helen almost brought a whiskey. Whoa, dude. Don't you have to be 21 to drink?
You do, yeah.
I don't know, Steve. You might need to pull out an ID.
I look older because of my head. That's what it is.
Yeah, Carlos's edit was cool. I learned a lot about what kind of photo we should provide people with Carlos's photo. Coffee, 2 a.m. All right, guys. I know you're coming from around the world, so thank you. Where are you at? Only in U.S. 18.
You know, the more I look at Carlos's shots,
yeah,
the more they just really keep getting to me. Like right now, I just this one on stage, the silhouette against the letters.
Yeah,
with the confetti.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys that's good at everything he does, and I'm going to talk about it once we interview him. But he is good. He's not I hope you guys know he's not a photographer by profession. He's a merch guy / anything he wants to do, he'll do. But he is more than qualified to be on here, especially as an old school friend.
Fun too.
Change. My stuff's all twisted. Yeah, fun guy.
Yeah, it's funny. I was gonna. Cornish Gamer just said that he did a few edits. Definitely enjoyed them. I was going to edit these shots, and I started seeing this stuff come across the social streams, and was like, there's nothing I can add. These people, like the one I showed Adam, I can't wait to get to later, that somebody did. There's some wonderful stuff that people did with these shots.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, Cornish, you did a great job. Thank you for editing. I know that they've been in here every week, every time, consistently.
Who was this one? Oh, Board Art. It seems like each week I'm finding a shot by Board Art that I absolutely love.
That must be one of the people. What was I going to say?
Doesn't give a name. Artist and boss lady.
Yeah, my roommate gave me this shirt. Oh, okay, cool. My roommate gave me. I don't know, top button or not top button. What do you think, Steve?
Say that again.
Top button or not top button?
Let me see.
On. Is that too much?
It's too tight. Yeah, it doesn't look. Yeah, that looks more relaxed.
Maybe I just need to get rid of some of my neck. Rocco's Model Knife is on here. Rugrats. I actually am guilty. Oh, my middle button needs 3 buttons. Sorry about that. I actually need to. I don't know many Nickelodeon shows. I'm guilty of it because I didn't have cable when I was a kid, so I only know them because of when my friends would watch at their place. Yeah. So I don't know as many. Futurama 6565. That's Carlos's name on here. Adam is Vivi. Cowardly Dog, I can see. Yeah. Can I breathe or not? Yeah, I can breathe. Not top. Michelle says not top. All right, Michelle, I trust your judgment. You have good fashion. Steve, any news you want to share with everybody? Anything new in your life? What's going on? Catch us up.
No, just doing the normal thing. Just missing shows mostly, but just still doing the radio thing. I was on the air this morning, and which is always fun, and just doing the normal stuff. I just wish I could go shoot a show.
Yeah,
looking forward. Actually, for me, I'm not going to buy it now because I'm not shooting any shows, but I'm really looking forward to Canon announcements because I want the EOS R5 to come out.
What's that?
It's the brand new Canon body that they're going to probably, I'm guessing, rumor has it, be announcing next month.
CanonRumors.com. Check it out.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. I can't keep up with camera. Whenever new camera stuff happens, I just ask my camera friends. I'm like, hey, tell me about what's good.
Yes, and for me, it's just I'm a geek at heart.
Yeah.
Like you tagged me on a Facebook post today for somebody with a network question.
Yeah, that was Daniel Nikleski. He's the old monitor guy for All Time Low.
Okay.
So he's doing stuff at home.
Yeah, and so I'm a geek at heart, so I love gear, and I do a lot of podcasting that relates to other areas of photography on other people's shows.
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of aware of it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I just want to go out and shoot a show. I mean, I wouldn't now. If they had shows right now, would you go to one?
Yeah. No, not in the current state of things. If they had shows right now, I'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to wear my mask in my own room. I'm so scared. I was going to say the 14 to 24.
Or Del Taco.
Yeah. The 14 to 24 Savannah is a very good lens. It's wide without being a fisheye. And
heavy, very heavy, though.
All Sigma lenses are heavy, but they encourage you to work out. So they're a good incentive to get stronger. There's a lot of glass in those bad boys.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're beautiful lenses, though.
Yeah, very good.
And by the way, same with the Canon on the 14 to 24. Super heavy. It's an f4. Is the Sigma f4?
No, the Sigma is like something crazy. What is it, Savannah? You'll know.
Yeah.
The Sigma stuff is wide open all the time. The F, it's bare, like they'll have stuff that's like 2.8 all the way through sometimes.
Yeah.
But like
they're killing it.
Yeah, they're good. I saw they have a new lens that I'm trying to get my hand. I think they're gonna like send me one to try out. It's like 100 to 400 or something.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned the 16 to 35.
That's Canon.
Which is the Canon, and I have the Mark III and love it.
That's a 2.8, right? The
2.8, and it's actually one of the sharpest lenses I've ever used.
17 to 40 is what I grew up shooting with a lot of stuff, and that was 4.0. I just saw on Twitter a country artist had a huge concert in America somewhere. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean I'll do it too, which falls in line with a lot of things people do here.
It's like a picture I saw online today of somebody on a plane, and they were sleeping. They had headphones in, and their mask was across their eyes.
I know, and there's like 2 kids behind them. I was like, oh my god. Thanks for joining our Discord. Yeah, if you guys want, check it out. We've got good Discord vibes. We're still working on getting mods all over there to help with everything, but the more
maybe Connor can get a link to the Discord in there.
Oh yeah, it's below the Twitch stream right now. If you click the link that says Discord, I'll join you. And it was Chase Rife.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Do I have a Discord command on here? I might. Let's see. Discord. I might not. Because it depends what I don't know what he set up.
I put it in the chat anyway.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, if you press exclamation point Discord, it'll pop that Stream Elements thing up right now. That stream.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then yeah, we got it. I think it's just mods can do it, but yeah, either way. Yeah, come hang. We're gonna have Carlos on here in 3 minutes. And what was I gonna say, Steve?
You guys are gonna like Carlos.
I wanted to tell you, Steve. I got my favorite birthday present I've ever got, and I've been bragging about it because it's the only thing I'll ever brag about, probably.
I think it's the thing I saw online. Tell me about it.
Dude, my girlfriend got me a signed Ace Ventura or Jim Carrey picture, and it's
nice.
like I have like an ongoing joke with her now, where every time I hang out with her, I'm just like, hey, you know what I have at home? Signed Jim Carrey photo. Pretty cool, huh? I just tell her like 4 times a day. She's like, yes, Adam, I know. And yeah, I love Jim Carrey.
And so she went and got you one, and it's actually I should pull that up.
It's from his manager. Well, from him. But look, this is how much I love Jim Carrey. I got Ace Ventura tattoo here, which is pretty hard to show. And I got mask on my leg. I love Jim Carrey a lot. And it's him playing Andy Kaufman, which I love. Andy Kaufman is one of my favorite people.
All right, so I'm sharing the screen so people can see this thing that we're talking about.
I could have just grabbed it. It's hanging above my bed currently. Yes, playing Man on the Moon.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I've seen interviews with him about playing that role and how crazy it was.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean he has a whole movie on it.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, my first movie I saw was Ace Ventura 2. It was Thanksgiving. I was in Stevens Point. Do you know what Fleet Farm is?
No.
Fleet Farm and Farm and Fleet are 2 different stores. They're similar to Home Depot, but farm versions. And they're big in the Midwest where there's a lot of farms. And we went there, and they have, those buckets they'll have at Target. It's like $2.99 DVDs. Right. They had that for VHS, and I found one of Jim Carrey or Ace Ventura riding 2 alligators, and I was like, we're getting this. I think I was like 8, and I watched. That's how I discovered Jim Carrey. And
one of the when you look at back at all the movies he's made, people think of him as just comedy. The guy is just an amazing actor.
Oh my god, he can move his face everywhere.
Whatever the role is. But that one, if people don't know, REM's song "Man on the Moon" was written about Andy Kaufman, and
I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't know that's the REM song thing. But yeah, I love him a lot. He's just good.
I love this. Michelle said that she literally watched Ace Ventura last night.
1 or 2, Michelle? When Nature Calls or the original? I don't like the original one as much. I like the second one more. But Steve, we're about to get Carlos in here. He's probably going to join right away. He's pretty timely. I'm going to shoot a tweet out.
Yeah, I will too, actually.
I won't hold him up in the waiting room. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm missing your text right now. Oh, he is here. Carlos is going to join. What up, Carlos? Welcome.
He's in.
Oh, snap.
You're live. We're just tweeting right now that we're live with you. So please excuse us.
Oh, amazing. Am I on time? Are we good? Am I late?
You're on time, dude. You're not late. I knew you would never be late.
I try not to be. What have you guys been up to since we last spoke like 15 minutes ago?
Talking about Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the DVD right now. Jim Carrey's incredible.
I know, dude. I was bragging about.
Didn't you get a photo signed recently? I saw on Twitter.
I just had it on screen.
That's what I was bragging about because I was like, "There's only one thing I brag about, and that's this."
That's a hard flex,
dude. I was stoked. Everybody say welcome to Carlos, by the way, in the chat. Well, I'm tweeting that I'm live with him. I should get this ready ahead of time, but
we're professionals.
You know how it happens. Twitch.
Now I know Jim Carrey through 6 degrees of separation through you because you have a signed photo of him.
Yeah, that counts as knowing him, right?
Yeah, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah. Did you ever know how they figured out the 6 degrees of separation?
I have no idea. I just hear it's a phrase. I didn't know there was science
Kevin
behind
Bacon?
it.
Yes, it's pretty cool actually. What they did is they basically, I forget the actual situation. I have to look it up, but they basically, it's before the internet. They gave a bunch of people, I believe it was letters, or they said like, "Hey, mail this to the person that you think would be the best doctors." I'm gonna botch this, but it was I'm not gonna be able to say it. I'll look it up. But basically, they had everybody send letters to the person they thought was most like this certain criteria or whatever, and they found that it was an average of 6 people before it got to the person. And
Wow, that's
yeah,
intense.
I'm gonna have to look it up to explain it better some other time. But it's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh!
It's a
Hold up.
real thing.
I've been missing out on half of the stream, which is to be on the Twitch app and greet people. Right? Everyone's like saying hello, probably, and I'm just ignoring them.
Yes, they
completely
are.
right now.
No, you're good.
Oh
You're
my
not
gosh.
ignoring them. You're on here. You can just say hello on here. It's fine.
And
You don't
say
have
it
to,
verbally.
You don't have to type
Hello,
it.
guys.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm on an iPad right now because I have a grandpa computer, and so then I'm running Twitch now on my phone to try to keep up with your comments. But if I don't respond to anything, please, my sincerest apologies.
Oh, no, you don't have to respond to everything on chat. You can respond to it verbally as they say it on chat too.
Wait. We can talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Look at us go.
And Captain Lasagna is our mod. His name's Connor, so he say hi, Connor. Thanks for everything you do. What up, Jared Music? Welcome.
Thank you, man.
Alex said, welcome,
Anna
dude.
Fitz. Welcome, Anna.
Hello, Anna. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the chat. What are you sipping on, Adam?
Tea. What are you drinking?
Sean?
Steve's got a Gatorade.
I got a Gatorade.
I have some nice Fuji.
A camera?
I have Fuji.
A Fuji
Dude,
camera?
have you played with this little thing, the Fuji X series?
No.
I recently picked up the 100V because they bring out like a new one every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. It's nice.
And I don't want to carry around the Mark III brick everywhere I go.
Oh, nobody does.
And so I was looking for like a small camera that I could kind of take anywhere and that it isn't as intrusive. Recently with Beartooth, we'll go out to like dinner and I'm there with like
what's up? Your local paparazzi.
So this is just like skip boop.
What up, Parker?
So,
real quick, and by the way, Matt Benton just said 2 minutes in, it's already phenomenal.
oh, thanks, Matt.
Carlos, what you may want to do is if you move your mouse.
Odin?
Actually, I don't know how to do this on an iPad.
I can do it for him.
Okay, yeah.
Carlos, what's your name on Twitter?
On Twitter?
Or
it should be Carlitos.
Or on Instagram.
_N.
Yeah. But you don't go by Carlitos.
I don't, but Carlos was taken. It's a very common name.
Who do we have to... Okay,
well, here's the thing. I've looked up Carlos Enrique Navarro on Instagram, and there is a guy with that name. 0 posts, 0 anything.
Of course. It's somebody who knew you were coming for it, and they're just waiting for that money. They're trying to get that bag.
Yeah, those things happen. Well, the one I can't get over is the Twitter verification, because no one has all 5 of my names, because I have a lot of names, because I'm Cuban. And they don't want to verify me. It's like, who else out there?
They're not verifying anybody right now. Twitter stopped verifying.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
I can sleep in peace at night now.
Yeah, about a year ago.
It's not you, it's everybody.
What are you on, Carlos, what are you on Instagram?
He put it, Connor put it, but anyway, go.
Oh.
Well, yeah,
Thanks, Connor. It's just Carlitos _N. Underscore is the little line at the bottom.
Gotcha.
I've never really used it aside from that handle. But yeah, what's everyone been up to? I'm in Miami. It's hot. It was 100 degrees yesterday.
Wow.
Which down here is like 300 degrees with the humidity.
That's almost 200.
It's over 9,000. But you're in California, Adam, so you're living the life.
Yeah, we're both in California, actually.
Yeah.
Steve's about an hour from me, if that. He lives in Hemet, so.
I'd be curious to where everyone is from on the chat. Where you're from on the chat.
Right where you're from.
You're about to get a worldwide representation. I know we have Australia. I know we have the UK. We got Savannah as Orlando. I know Savannah because they always hit me up on Ecuador. Ooh, Germany.
Ecuador. Wow, look at that.
Turkey, UK.
Connecticut, Indianapolis.
London. Let's go. Ohio.
Canada.
Portland.
Denver,
Hamilton, Ontario. Denver, London, Ohio, Portland.
We got the world representation on here. I mean,
wow,
I never knew Kiki was in New York. Awesome.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Portland.
Melbourne.
Mr. Worldwide.
I think that's how they say it.
Melbourne.
San Diego.
Melbourne. No R.
Brisbane.
Melbourne.
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
We are the world. Yeah, we're good. But yo, Carlos,
We are
thanks for
the
joining us.
children. Dude, thanks for having me. When I got a text message from you to do this, I was very humbled. I was like, me, out of all the photographers that like there's some high caliber
Oh yeah.
friends of yours.
It just took me
So
8 weeks. I should have had you on earlier. It's my own fault.
no, please, no. I don't even know what I would do.
Yo, Steve, Carlos and I have known each other for a long time. We go back to, I was actually like going through my mental memories of Carlos, and they involve him climbing things that he shouldn't. And one of the first times where I realized that Carlos was like, he's the guy who's just gonna do it, is I used to do Insanity workout on tour, and and Carlos is doing merch, so he's always doing merch, and I used to do it in the mornings. So he would come by every day and be like, I'm gonna do this someday with you, and I was like, okay. And then one day he rolled up in like jeans and a shirt and just did Insanity with me.
I love it.
Dude, I remember that. 2012.
Yeah.
That's like Collide with the Sky tour.
Yeah, it was
That's
a long
like
time.
you must be climbing stuff still, because I'm browsing through your Instagram right now, and this black and white overhead of Beartooth.
Oh man, I'm very proud of that shot. That is, as far as I know, from the guy who works there,
Share
is
it,
one
Steve.
of the it's
Okay.
the only shot from overhead at Roundhouse.
Oh, Roundhouse. That's London. It's basically a venue that's pretty historic. And can you make it bigger, Steve? It's showing
Yep,
up weird.
I'm coming in right now.
Oh no, that's Rock on the Range. That was me hanging from like some rafters by my legs. But my last photo is of Beartooth at Roundhouse, and I don't think you could do that photo as a photographer because it takes the whole set. You have to get strapped in. You have to do this whole thing. This guy has to give you like a course, and you sit on this like really nice mesh platform that stops you from falling on children. So I kind of got spoiled there because Jarvis, who's our digital, shout out the work of Jar. What a hard working individual.
He didn't
not going
text
to be
me
able
back.
to do that.
I'm gonna call him out right now. He told me to text him to talk to him this week. I texted him. He never hit me back.
Jar?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Jarvis.
I was like, "What's going on, man?"
So you're all strapped in on this?
No. This is me. I'm hanging by, because you know how you can bend your knees and kind of hang from
Steve can't.
Like a thing.
But
yeah.
Yeah. So I just went up there and did that for like I just sprayed burst shots. If I get something cool, it'll work. And then I got that and I was stoked on it.
Yeah, love it.
Good job,
Absolutely
man.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
What was I gonna say? Roundhouse is a cool venue because it's like a venue they built another venue around. So it's like you know how they have the inner part? That's like the old thing, and then they built that other area around it to like make it more current, which is kind of crazy. You're talking about Roundhouse London, right?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, venue's
super
great.
Cool.
And it's round too.
It's very round.
In Camden, yeah.
A full sphere.
Yeah.
What other venues are in London? Ali Pali. I've never been there, but
it's very good. It's a historical spot too. It's like the first radio towers there. You should take a train there from Roundhouse. It's like maybe Roundhouse is in Camden. It's maybe like 30-minute train. You go up and you can walk there from the stop
dang.
To
I should check that out. Yeah, I've only done Roundhouse.
They have ice skating there.
Have you done a Wembley?
Wembley Arena, not Wembley Stadium.
Arena, yes. Yeah. I don't think we know anyone that can do stadium.
I've been to Emirates there. I went to the Emirates Stadium, but it was a Green Day show. It was like 70. It was like All Time Low was opening for him, so it was cool. That's the biggest I've seen in London.
That's insane. Green Day's a big band. Shout out Green Day.
Green Day does big bands. Green Day's done it. Yeah.
They done it. I only got into Green Day very late into in my early 20s, I guess, and they had been around forever.
Yeah.
And I just heard American Idiot, and I was like, have you heard of this band? And my friends are like, dude, that record's like 6 years old. Like, it's already done. I was like, oh, man.
They really are good live.
Oh, yeah. They know how to... They're like just like a good rock band, huh?
Yeah.
They just put on like a great show.
Yep.
Yeah. That's hard to do. Not many people can put on a good show.
No, that is true. Green Day
in comparison to how many touring acts they are.
Yeah.
I surprised my kid with Green Day in L.A. did a show that wasn't on the tour list. It was a surprise thing for some online music. And I got tickets and took him. It was at the Wiltern.
Ooh.
And Green Day at the Wiltern. And it was funny because my kid was like, I don't know, 13, 14. And there were drunk women trying to pick him up. It was pretty funny. Got to give the kid the experience.
He's too young, guys. Leave him alone.
Leave Brittany alone.
Yeah. Leave him alone. Hella Mega Tour, but yeah, that's canceled for now. Yeah, there's
I
a lot
got
of.
a, I got a solid rig. You want to see? I think I've cheated the system, Adam.
What's the rig?
I did it very subtly, but I put my laptop on a chair, and here is the stream, and I can now read the chat. Look at
Wow, wow,
Nice.
that. Who would have thought? Look at
yeah,
us.
yeah, dude.
Who would have thought?
Who would have
And
thought
you had
you're
a
doing
brand
it?
new iPhone box sitting there too.
It's like an iPhone 6s box to prop the iPad, so
Okay.
it's leveled.
Carlos
You know.
actually just buys iPhone boxes.
There's people that do that. I swear, or
They're
they'll
all
buy a
sitting right there.
box because they'll buy a bootleg version of an item, and when they gift the item, they want the box of the item to be legit to fully portray the experience.
Oh yeah,
that they
yeah,
really
yeah.
gave you Gucci slippers.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah. That's fair.
Shout out to all the hustlers out there.
Yo, so I want to talk a little bit about. Obviously, you're a little bit different than most of the people we have on here. Most people are photographers by profession, and they tour, do other stuff. But you're just kind of more photographer as a hobby, even though you're pretty darn good.
Thank you, man.
When did you first get your camera? You tour. So Carlos tours, for everybody who doesn't know. He travels. He does merch for Beartooth mostly now. He tours a lot of different people. And when did you get your first camera that you were like, oh, I can do this? I could do that.
I got my first camera shortly after touring with you on that Collide with the Sky tour.
Yeah.
Which was when? Give me a year.
This is 2012.
Okay.
Fall of 2012, and Adam had like the little bracelets and everything, and I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, that's a focus ring." I was like, "What is that for?" He goes, "It goes on a lens." I was like, "What do you mean the lens?" Photography was so abstract to me. I didn't put together that a camera could exist without a lens. To me, in my head,
no, dude,
it's a one thing.
We all go through that process of like, wait, I remember getting my first camera with the lens on. And you're like, wait, this comes off on what?
Yeah.
You're not alone.
And so after that tour, I was like, man, I've been given this rare opportunity to travel the world with very talented individuals. And I'm sure it'd be great to capture these moments. And, some people might be interested. And so I figured I wouldn't waste that and just buy a camera, because back then there wasn't no iPhone with a good enough camera. Back then the iPhones were shot.
Yeah, dude.
And so I bought a T2i.
Oh yeah, good
a
camera.
Rebel T2i, yeah.
Which was actually a great camera.
It taught me everything I needed to know for a starter camera. Like, you can control your shutter, you can control your aperture, your ISO. It has all the basics, I guess. I would say.
That makes sense. Thank you for that subscribe, Lost Before Fate. Sorry, people subscribe in here, Carlos, and I like to thank them. So I apologize if I ever interrupt.
Yo, shout out to them. Who just subscribed?
Lost Before Fate.
That's a long one. Shout out to them.
Damn, you got
like
the
and
moves.
Subscribe.
You got the moves.
40 Ambers, thank you. Like and subscribe.
Yeah,
I hear that a lot. But Adam, what was your first camera? Because I feel like you're gonna be
one of those flip the interview people. I get it. All right.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
we've never talked about this.
I know.
It's such
No.
Awkward conversation.
It's not awkward. No, I got my camera. I used like a point and shoot my parents had. Then I got a Canon S2IS, which is like, it doesn't have an attachable lens, but it has like a zoom lens with a built-in flash. And then somebody from this website called DP Challenge sent me this like 0.9 megapixel camera or something. But I tried.
0.9.
Yeah, my Google or my school counselor like brought it over to my place to let me use. He's the one who got me into photography. So, and then I basically use like yearbook cameras. My first regular like actual camera was a Rebel XT, and then I got Rebel XTI when my Rebel XT got stolen. Thank you, insurance, homeowners insurance, for my parents. But what up, Lynn XC? But yeah, so that was my first camera, and then how long did you have your first camera for?
I had it till it exploded. I rocked that T2i till maybe 2014.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, it's time to upgrade. What's the coolest camera, or what's the newest top tier? And the 5D Mark III was what everyone was talking about.
Oh yeah.
So I bought that, and
that's a big jump too.
And I'm still rocking that camera to this day.
Mark III's still good. I have Sony and Mark III as my backup, but I never got the 4. The 3's still solid.
I've got a 4 that's my webcam right now, but when I shoot, I've got a 3 on one hip and a 4 on the other.
A 4 is a webcam? Get out of here.
That's what I'm on right now. 4 with a 24-70 Mark II.
I believe you. I can see your soul.
Yeah, he's sharp.
Yeah, very sharp.
I just like how
camera looks good
well built that 5D Mark III. Dude, I've dropped that from scary heights, and it just good.
Scary Heights? What? Yo,
No,
Carlos,
for a camera. If I was a camera
tell
and I
him,
were to fall.
tell them about how you get to the top of construction buildings. Can we talk about that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there. They can't arrest me.
Yeah.
They didn't catch me in the act.
Yeah.
But essentially, sometimes at home in Miami, there's not a lot of really tall buildings, but when they are building one, there's a construction crane that is set up next to the building, and there's a construction engineer who has to cross and control that crane. So if you go, theoretically speaking, around 1 to 3 a.m. when nobody's working, you could access that crane and go all the way to the top.
But what do you wear?
Dude, well, if it's a night, all blacked out. But I'm really proud of this.
Yeah.
So on December of last year, I went and I went and stalked the location, and I saw the uniform of the people, what they were wearing, the helmets that they were wearing. I bought all of that stuff, and then I went and I just at 3 a.m. I knew they would start their shift. So I went and I walked in line with everybody else. And you have to think, construction sites are huge. There's just hundreds of employees. So you just have to.
My dad's a construction site manager. My dad's the guy who is in charge of all those people. Keep going though.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just walked in, no big deal. I went to the elevator because this is a really tall building. It's 200 something flights. I'm not gonna go up those. And I just stood in there and I went all the way to the top. And I just went on the crane and I shot the sunrise over the Miami port with all the cruise ships are and stuff. And it was cool. I'm stoked on that. That's a felony. It's not a joke.
Really?
But it also goes to show, if you act like you belong, most people won't question.
These are skills you've learned from Music World for sure, huh?
100%. Yes. Especially in venues. I mean, security has been stepped up a bit in recent days.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember
Especially
going to shows
France
with a photo pass, and I would just walk straight backstage because no one's going to stop me to read if it says AA or something. If you look like you belong, you're going to make it.
We're not encouraging people to go to places at venues they don't belong, for what it's worth.
No,
but it's true. If you act like you belong, most people are more afraid to talk to you and say, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah,
than anything.
That's how I met Paramore at Warped Tour, says Sean. That's pretty much. I remember one tour. I don't know if Carlos was on it, but we went to it was I think it was Spring Fever. We went to this football game with the crew and everybody on an off day, and our merch guy was like, I'm going to go down to the field. And we're like, what? So he put on his radio and his outfit, and he just walked in to the field. And I was like, all right. That's kind of how it works.
I mean, the radio is who just carries a radio around? So if you have a radio.
Radio does it.
It's convincing.
Yeah, this guy's got a radio. Don't mess with him. But that's cool. So you got your camera. You got 2012. And then what was the progression? When did you what did you take photos of on tour, and when did you start shooting more of the show, or did you start out with that? What was your path there?
So I was just doing merch, which is a pretty full-time job. From doors till the end of the show, you have to be at the table selling t-shirts. But the smaller the act, the less busy they are. And so sometimes they'll work out a deal with you where they're like, hey, just watch the merch table, maybe you'll drive tonight, and then we'll cover the merch table tomorrow early morning. But if you can find a small up-and-coming growing act, they might hire you for both if you can show that you can do both.
Yeah.
And so that kind of landed me in the photo round once I picked up the T2i.
Make yourself more valuable, yeah.
Yeah, in 2013, a band took me out, and then I just messed around, and they liked the photos, and Instagram was kind of becoming a thing. Yeah. And they were like, hey, man, don't worry so much about merch. Make sure we get some content of the show, and then we'll put it on the internet and then go to the table. Yeah. And that's what I do to this day. My main job is to sell merchandise, but when there's time allowed, I'll go and try to take some photos here and there.
I feel like we shot together on tour before. You can probably remember. I don't know, man. I'm not as good at remembering the stuff, but we did Collide with the Sky. I feel like we've shot together before, a bunch on tour, right?
We don't have the same jobs and we don't work for the same artists, but we find ourselves so much in the same places.
Tonight Alive, we both worked for, right?
Yes.
I rode with you guys, yeah.
Yeah, because I was doing merch and you were doing their photos as well as else?
Pierce Avail.
As Pierce.
Whoever else on the tour.
Oh my gosh. Pierce is great. Shout out all those guys.
Here's my question for you, Carlos. Now that you start shooting, along with doing merch, you're taking photos. How do you, having not even known what a removable lens was originally, how did you start learning exposure and photography and composition.
Yeah,
How did you, as a new person in that, but being around the venues and stuff, kind of figure all that out?
Man, I just asked. I feel like a lot of people feel like they're gonna be called dumb, but I just went up to
He's
anybody
good at asking
and
questions.
asked. Yeah, I was like, how do we do
questions.
this? Whether it be Adam somewhere or even, I remember wanting to get a photo that I didn't know how to get because it was a lens thing, not a setting thing. And it wasn't until someone on the tour, I'm so messed up that I don't remember. Then it was like, no, you can only do that with like a 70 to 200 because that has no distortion.
Yeah.
You can never take that photo with your 16 to 35.
You need something technically different.
Yeah, and so just ask questions. Whoever's watching the stream, if you don't know how to do something, just ask.
Yeah,
cool.
we talked about that when we had Parker on with Danilo too. It's like one of the best. It's knowing to ask questions is important. Also knowing when to ask your questions is important.
And also knowing what questions to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, on tour, time is so valuable, especially the set. Every second is so valuable. If something goes wrong on stage for 10 seconds, it feels like an eternity. And it's the same in the photo pit. Like, I know when a certain jump is happening. Please don't ask me a question right this second.
Hey, not right now. Yeah.
And then you feel bad, but I'll just apologize later. I'll be like, because you have a job to do. These artists are paying you to perform a task, not to be like an Instagram person that could be asked questions.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm sure you struggle with that, Adam. You're probably one of the most recognizable photo figures in our world.
I definitely just made like a rule. I was like, I can't take can you imagine? I was like, can you imagine if you're in a band and you look in the crowd and you see your photographer taking photos with a fan during the show? I was like, can you imagine how bad that would make? Like, it just seems so disrespectful. So I was like, I can't do it right now. I'm working. Find me after the show. No. But I feel like out of respect, you got to do it that way. Yeah.
And you're more entitled to get an answer if you waited. Because if I'm shooting in the pit, I try to introduce myself to everyone in there, And so if I see you after the show, I know that you were there. So I'm going to have a more open thing to vibe with you than if you had been in the photo pit and you were bothering me. Now, if I see you after the show, I was like, I'm not talking to that guy. That guy's crazy.
Don't bother Carlos. Okay. Got it.
Noted.
Yeah.
Adam, what are those headphones? Turn around again. It looked like crazy. I
only use them because they're half broken. Only one side works.
What brand is that? Give them a shout out. Maybe they'll give you something.
They gave me these.
Oh.
These are from like a sponsored post I did like 6 years ago on Instagram, and I just still have them because they're nice. They come apart, so they're really nice for traveling because I can like take them all apart. If that makes sense, you can replace each piece. They're what's that called? Modular. They're modular.
Modular.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a big word. I can't say that. Modular? Say it again.
Modular. No G.
Modular.
Like mod. M-O-D. Modular. Yeah.
I just have these free Marshall earbuds that we got at Rock on the Range one year. One of the perks of traveling with artists is that sometimes you get free stuff. It's sick.
Yo, have you ever ended a tour in Miami or Miami? Is saying Miami wrong? Miami. Have you ever ended a tour there and been like, wait, everything in catering is just free money now because I can just take it home. Like everything on my rider, I can just take it home with me.
I've never ended a tour here, but I have started a tour here, which was incredible.
Yeah.
Because I just woke up in my bed and I was like, I guess I'll just go to the venue now. I don't have to fly.
Yeah, that's true. That's cool.
And then to how to pronounce it, I don't know. I'm not the authority on how to pronounce Miami. I just say it like that.
The authority.
Because my vowels are... I wasn't born here, so A, E, I, O, U are my vowels, and sometimes I'll say words a little different than other people, and so. But yeah.
So we should tell people you're from Helsinki originally.
Yeah, Helsinki, Finland, for sure.
Yeah.
But I will argue this: no one says Michigan; they say Michigan.
Yeah,
correct.
And no one says I made a mistake. They go, I made a mistake, which is also MI, and no one goes.
Mistake.
My Saipai. They go Mississippi. All the
My Saipai
are pronounced E. But then they get to Miami and they decide to just
We're learning things today.
They decide to switch it up. I don't know.
No, I like it. Well,
I'm going to start saying My Saipai.
Wait, did you speak English when you moved to the U.S., Carlos? Did you?
No.
Wait, how old were you? You said you were
I was
eight,
9.
9. Okay.
Yeah, so which that coming of a process was insane as it was. I pretty much won the raffle of it's called El Bombo.
El Bumbo? What's that? You took a raft over here? Did you just say?
No, my dad made a boat and came over, but I came on a plane.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Because the U.S. grants Cuba like I think like 10 or 12 visas a year for Cuban citizens to come visit America.
It's through a raffle, right?
Yeah, that's essentially what Bumble means. It means like raffle, and so but it's like a scam. So they'll select you and they'll say that you're eligible to come over, and then you spend all this money driving to La Habana and then all these things. And then when you go to the interview, they'll deny you. They'll be like, we think you don't qualify. And so they keep all your money. It sucks. It sucks hard. But for some reason, me and my mom got the pass. And so we called my father, who was living here, and he provided all the funding for that. He would send money to Cuba, and we would take cars to La Habana and then do the whole process. Crazy. And then eventually they're like, yeah, you can go for like 30 days. And then just whatever you learn, bring it back to the island and you'll make us better. And we were like, yeah, sure. Whatever you say. And then once we came, we obviously never go back.
Wow, that's wild.
And then ER Nanook, I guess it is, wants to know how long ago was that you moved?
I came, to be precise, December 23rd of 1999. Okay. Yeah.
21 years almost.
Yeah, so it's been a minute, but nothing's changed. I mean, a lot of minutes. A few things have changed, but for like the worst, man. Like just the other day, my mom sent me a photo, broke my heart. We finally got butter in like our village, and the line was just it was so long just for butter. Like the things that we take for granted here, it's insane. That's
crazy. Yeah, we're like I ran out of butter. Oh, I guess I'll go to the 7-Eleven. They might be $1 extra there, but you can get it anywhere.
I mean, I'm definitely grateful to where I came from and how I was raised, because I think it's given me a more optimistic perspective on life. Yeah. When sometimes you can just feel like current life sucks without really knowing how other people are living.
Super relative, yeah. It's very,
an appreciation for what you've really got that matters.
And Jack Chameleon says they're from Venezuela and they can relate. And
oh man, yeah, Venezuela has it bad. They pretty much had like salmon, like they were starving their people down there recently.
And Savannah wants to know. I know, obviously a little bit different, but wants to know if there's anywhere you haven't been that you want to travel to. I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we get to go to so many places, but then not really. You get what I'm saying?
Been everywhere, seen nothing.
Right.
I would really love to go just to anywhere in the Middle East. I think it's such an interesting, history-filled place,
Crazy there.
And so I'd much rather go to Iraq than like New Zealand.
Yeah.
Nothing against New Zealand,
but you're just less familiar with the culture there.
Right.
Exactly. It's just something I'd be genuinely interested in, for sure.
Dude, I went there being Jewish, and going to like Islamabad was sketchy. The people we stayed with are like, just don't tell anybody you're Jewish. And I was like, oh, I've never been to a place where I'm not allowed to tell people I'm Jewish. And we had security everywhere we went, like six security vehicles, but still I was like, this is not like, I've been to Israel, I've been to other Middle Eastern places, but that's crazy. It's what
Yeah. You don't think about that when you're here.
No.
Somebody stops you at Starbucks, like, hey, where are you from? You're like, oh, Cockroach. I'm from Cockroach, whatever.
Yeah.
So you make something up, and they're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Steve is from America.
Yeah.
I am born and raised in Southern California, but I tried going to Michigan. I spent 3 years working in radio in Detroit, but
oh man.
Other than that, born and raised here. But I've traveled a lot, so.
I mean, that's what I encourage people to do. The more you travel, I feel like the more you learn and you do mature as a person. And you don't have to go to other countries. You can just go to another state.
And that's the thing. The interesting thing about the U.S. is literally every state is in some ways like going to another country. The culture is different.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it really can be so different just crossing one to the other. But if you travel around the world, don't just go look at the sites. Look at the culture, right? Really study. Like there were things, even just like when we went to Rome or Cinque Terre in Italy, the culture is so unique.
Good pronunciation there.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was like, what?
Did I get it good close?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you did. Yeah,
it sounded cool.
Because the C are H's.
Yeah, Cinque Terre. But it was just so interesting. Like when we went to Rome, and the way they just order a coffee. Nobody sits in a coffee shop. They walk in a coffee. They say, "Do a cappuccino," or do a cappuccino, and
too.
they stand there and they drink them right then and they walk away.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different vibe.
Yeah,
Man,
it's crazy.
Steve, you taking the time to even learn some Italian is incredible.
I will tell you, my son took Italian in college, and it was one of the greatest things. He was with us. And it was great because, like any country, if you just try, it's like I hear people complain about the French. It's like, look, if you would not expect them to speak English and you would try to communicate with them, it just shows such respect. That's really the key.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you can't say it properly. Just try to learn something.
Yeah. And if they make fun of you, it's like, who cares? Just keep going. I hate when people give you a hard time. I've only had it a few times. Most of the time, people are pretty good about it in other countries.
Yeah, they know that you're trying.
Kiki says, go.
There is places, sorry to interrupt, that I don't speak English for the lack of slack that Americans get. Like, especially if I'm in Paris or something, or France.
Yeah.
I speak Spanish, and then it's a whole different world for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
so
yes,
nice.
Everyone's great. But then I'll get back to the bus, and all the Beartooth guys, they'd be like, man, this cab driver just was not about us. I was like,
Linuxy, I'm not sure, lives in Scotland and has hardly explored it. I was actually last month supposed to be in Scotland and Ireland for a couple of weeks, and I'm so bummed I didn't get to go.
Beautiful places.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Have you been, both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
If you tour UK, you hit those places, and you take. Yeah.
See, I'm a whiskey drinker, so I'd be in heaven.
Yeah, the ferry ride there. Is there a ferry ride there, Adam? How long is that ferry?
I don't know.
From Dublin to Wales to Cardiff?
Yeah, I don't know. I know there's that one, and there's the English Channel one.
Yeah, that one we do when we go to mainland, which is usually Paris to London or something.
You don't do the train when you do that? You do the ferry?
You could do the Channel also. It depends what your setup is. The Channel's, I don't know. Channel's kind of boring because you sit on your bus the whole time. The ferry is fun because you get to get off your bus.
And you get the breakfast?
Yeah, the breakfast, the full English is good.
And you get to spend your euros, which can't use anymore once you're done.
in the casino, or the game room or whatever. Yeah, stuff's cool.
Oh, I got to go do this again now.
Steve, we gotta go onto the image.
Let's do it.
Let's pull the photo out.
All right.
Thanks for that follow, Twitch Fox and Punk Rock Photo and Andre Duet and Jack a Million. All those people who followed. Appreciate you guys.
Oh, we got new
Cornish
subs?
Game Hen said that I need to do a whiskey tour in the UK, and yes, I do. That was the plan. I had a couple of them set up until COVID hit.
Ooh, thanks for the follow, Flippin' Since 06.
So, Carlos, I'm going to let you choose here. Do you want to talk about the straight-on shot first, or do you want to talk about the overhead shot first?
Oh, man. What do people want to see first?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to leave it on this one first, because I've got some killer questions on this one. Were you hanging by your knees?
No. This was in Philly. And this show was very, very picky about everything. Like even the show looks empty, but it's not empty. It was just a fire hazard. That entire tour for Bring Me was
a disaster.
Ridiculous. Like the amount of people going, the production was insane. So every day was a handful. And so this was one of those shots that when I took, I knew that I was like, man, this is so sick, but I wish people could grasp how many people are at the show aside from what you see here.
Because there's a whole bunch of people around the edge. Like you can see those chairs are pushed against the wall on the right there. Right. And then there's bleachers that go up and there's people all around you, right?
All around.
Yeah. This show must have been like 3,500 people, and you're only seeing like 1,000 of them on the floor because that's the capacity of the floor,
Fire hazard.
Well,
and if you look at the speakers that they've flown, this isn't a tiny venue by any means. How was this a remote camera or were you up there?
No. For that I was up there, and so this one, this is not okay. So I snuck up here. So early on in the show, I was told that the venue was changing everything from a vendor cell to a venue cell, which means I'm no longer going to sell merch. The venue is going to sell merch for me. And so I double checked it with Mark, who was their merch guy at the time, and everything was good. So I was like, oh, cool. I get to take photos tonight. And Ashley Osborne, shout out Ashley Osborne, was on the tour shooting Bring Me. But like 2 days prior, she had to leave for something. And Jordan had asked me if I would like to take photos of them. And I was like, dude, yeah, if I can.
Explain who Jordan is.
Oh, Jordan Fish plays keys and writes music for Bring Me the Horizon.
There you go.
Okay.
Awesome dad, super creative individial.
Who
And
retweeted
so he had
this
asked me-
contest. Very nice of him to do that.
Oh, what?
He retweeted this. I hit him up. I said thank you. He's like, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And so, yeah, so he had asked me and I was like, sure. So this was the first day that I was shooting, I guess, for Bring Me. And I felt like I had to come in hot.
Yeah, you're like I got to show him what.
I was like, oh, man, I have some big shoes to fill. And so I walked around the venue with this little card that I have. It's like thicker than like a credit card, but thinner than a license card. It's hard to explain, but it's just the right
There's
thickness.
not a difference in those thicknesses, is there?
There is to me. Or at least I have found that with doors when I'm
There is if
doors.
you're going to use them what he's going to use them for.
And so I scoped out where the entrances to these this rafter was, and I was like, cool, let's see what's up. And so I get to the first door and there's a giant sign. It's like emergency exit only, alarm will sound, blah, 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 which is always a lie. No alarm is ever going to sound. I like, are you really going to jeopardize an entire show on a one door opening? Like, you're kidding me. And so I start working the little card thing and it opens and I was like, yes. And so once I knew that, then I ran it by Jordan because I wasn't trying to make the band look bad either. Because when you're a photographer, you're an extension of the artist performing, and anything you do reflects on them and how you behave.
Any employee, right?
Yeah, any employee for any business. And so I wasn't trying to climb up there, get caught up there, and then now they get in trouble and I am making them look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and grabbed Jordan and I was like, hey, Jordan, I can climb up there. He's like, what do you mean you could climb up there? And I was like, I can get us up there. He's like, how did you get up there? I was like, you want to come? He's like, okay. So I walk him up there. I pick the door. He was like, that easy. I was like, I know, right? Security. And so I try to walk him onto the beam, and he's like, I'm not going walking on there with you. I'll let you do it, but I'm not going out there, which was really funny.
That's awesome.
And so I'm safe to say he doesn't like heights very much. And so that's how that shot came to be. I found out how to get up there. I asked the artist for permission, and then I knew this part of the song was always like a red thing, and it's impossible to shoot. So I asked their LD as well. I was like, hey man, this is my first day shooting. Please, can you just give me white lights as soon as he asked for the pit to open up, because the red is not going to work for me. And he was like, yeah, no big deal. And it worked out great. I just waited for the moment, crept up there on this little beam, dressed all black, and then just pressed the shutters and let it
500 shots. One of these will work.
See,
yeah,
and
exactly.
To me, that last part, though, where you went to the LD and said, look, I got an idea for a shot. I'm going to be up in the rafters. Can you help me out here? That was brilliant.
Who's their LD?
Yeah, shout out to LD. I wish I could remember because so many people got fired that tour.
Hopefully not because you were in the rafters.
No. It's just a big tour like that. You usually, when Bring Me was just making the jump from being like a House of Blues band to a 3,000 something. So you bring in a bunch of new crew. And then if they don't, if it doesn't match, then that's okay. No harm done.
Called growing
just
pains.
Gotta let you go.
Growing pains.
Yeah, growing pains. So this was a tour for them to feel out and find a crew. But yeah, I mean, that's the raw shot. And it's like, I want to say it's pretty level too. Like I just stayed there and waited for it. I used the LED screen to line everything up because I'm not strong on the editing side, but I can kind of compose a shot. And you should master one or the other. You're either an insane editor that can make poop look great, or you can just suck at editing, but if your composition is so good, then the editing is not required.
Right.
That's a clip right there.
That's
wise
gold.
words from you either make poop look good. Carlos 2020.
So you're climbing up here, you're looking down on this shot.
And then if you're both, then awesome. You're gold.
What are you thinking though as you're framing this? So you're talking about the fact that one of your skills is composition. So in your head, as you're looking at that viewfinder, what are you waiting for? What are you going for? I mean, I'm sure you're spraying, but what are you going for here in your composition?
Well, first off, the initial shot that I wanted would require a 70 to 200, which I cannot hang above kids' heads like that. Like if I drop my camera for any reason, it's a serious injury. So
Carlos, I don't think it matters what lens is on the camera.
I was just going to say, you could
real.
drop that little Fuji that you had, or Sigma that you had, whatever it was, and you'd hurt somebody.
In my head, that's how I justify
it.
But anyway, I knew that I wasn't going to go for a landscape shot like what you see here. I knew that I was trying to get a portrait shot. And so I just opened the 16 as wide as I could And I think, yeah, and I just try to frame it as I was imagining that I'm looking at like a 9:16 photo. And then that was all that I wanted to frame. That the band doesn't matter to me. It was mainly the crowd, but the band is what sells the shot, I guess, for me, because it's like I don't know, it's like ice, like whipped cream on a good cake. Like the whipped cream, like this is great, but I came for the cake.
It's
And
the
so,
environment and the symmetry here. You see both sides. You see the stairs on both sides. You see this on stage from the band. You've got the sound mix and some stairs on the back. That's to me what makes the shot, is the symmetry that you've got in here ready to go. And not only that, but the detail.
yeah, what is the aperture on that? I might have had it cranked because I knew that the back wall would be
Thanks for that
blasting.
subscribe, Brendan, by the way. Just want to throw that in there.
I can look up the aperture while I'm looking up the aperture.
Because I've never looked at this raw file in my life. I just send JPEGs to my phone.
Seriously?
Yeah, I send the JPEG to my phone and then I uploaded it because I have to flip it around so fast and I edit everything on my phone. And so I'm not gonna, work on some raw files on my iPhone. So because the show ends at 11 and kids are already on their iPhone sitting in their car looking for shots. So I try to turn the photos around by like midnight or 12:30.
Carlos, you see this?
This is 2.8. You shot this at 2.8 1/200th.
You see this?
Holy crap!
You see this comment in chat from Clown PF Art, by the way. Keep going. Shout out who?
What is this?
No, yeah. So this was 16 millimeters, 2.8 1/200th on a what lens was this? A 16 to 35?
Yeah, just a Canon 16 to 35.
They said you shot this at 2.8. Wow.
They said they got a compliment recently at work that said you made that diarrhea into a solid turd.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, I thought you'd like
gas. Yeah, liquid into solid. That's always good.
Hey, I bet you could figure out what somebody's texting on their phone from up here with how sharp that is.
Yeah, it's like I say, the 16 to 35 Mark II is one of the sharpest things I've ever used. This thing is just awesome, just awesome. So let's jump to the other shot. This is one of those shots that I think everybody wants to get, right? They don't want to be in the pit. They want to be in the back. They want to see the confetti fall. And so many people miss it for whatever reason. Either they didn't have the right lens on or they were in the wrong position. Were you trying the fact that he's dead center in the M, right? In other words, the edge of the M isn't going through the middle of his head. He's right between the edge lights of the right side of that M. Is just perfect composition. Were you thinking that as you shot it?
Man, I am grinning right now. No one's ever noticed that. I tried so hard. This shot took a lot of tries. I wanted Ollie to be in the M. I didn't want him to be to the
black
right.
Space.
I didn't want to I didn't want to have to use like a clone tool to make it here because it's so much process. I just wanted to try it. And symmetry, I love that you keep bringing it up because I love good symmetry. I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. Shout out Wes Anderson. I forget
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, his DP is insane, and everything Wes Anderson is always well composed and very symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is one of those shots that you shouldn't be bummed if you don't get it, because as a touring photographer, we get spoiled with having multiple opportunities at capturing one moment.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just have that one show at your local town that you got your photo pass for, don't beat yourself up about it and try to compare yourself to the touring photographer, because they have an advantage and it's not a competition. You're just out there to take the best shots you can take and have a good time. But Steve, man, you noticing that? Oh boy, I am.
My goal is to make you look good. Here's what's interesting about this. And by the way, people, keep in mind, these are raw, right? The symmetry that you see in that first shot, it's not cropped. Nothing's been done to it. Same with this one. Almost, I mean, there's a little bit of a stage monitor on the right, but this is a raw shot that has not been cropped, and the symmetry is almost perfect. The placement of the upper high truss dead center is just like spot on. And this is the other place I see people kind of get lost on these shots, is the balance between the artist on the stage and the crowd, right? They want the crowd, they want the hands in the air, they want the confetti, but either they show too much of that and not enough of the band, or vice versa. the way you've captured this. So explain to me, because again, this, you mentioned somebody going to a local show. If I go shoot a song and I've got 3 from the pit, I'm not going to get this legally, right? I mean, there's always the guy you see in the back that security's going, I'm going to take your camera if you do that again. But most people shooting from the pit aren't going to get this. You are able to take your camera to the back of the crowd here. What are you thinking? Obviously, you're above them. Are you standing on something? What are you thinking as you're getting this?
I want to say this shot was taken in Houston, and so the way that the Houston show was done, there was these bleachers towards the back of the crowd, so they end in the side, kind of like the previous shot, but they just emptied out all the bleachers in the middle, and then the whole crowd was allowed to stand, and then the bleachers in the back, the crowd can't have access to them, but I could just stand on there. And so I took my camera down. This was taken with a 70-200, and the 70-200 has a little tripod mount, I guess, that you can rotate around. I don't know if that makes sense.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so I use that, and it's so heavy that it'll float the 5D Mark III. Like, you don't need a tripod per se. You can place it somewhere.
It'll balance it.
So I placed this just at the first bleacher, dead on, and then I just went on the LED screen, brought up a leveler, and I leveled everything. And then I set through the whole song because I knew when this moment was coming. I knew exactly what Oliver does and how he does it. And then again, just all about framing and waiting for the moment and just letting the burst go. But I was hoping, I think I'm not shooting technically dead on. I am slightly slanted so
you're
that
a little bit left.
So that he is in the middle of the M. Because if I would have been actually dead on, then his arm would have bleached into the blackness of this, which I'm not a fan of.
Well, and a perfect trade-off, because that little bit of skew, if you really wanted to, you can fix in post. But
you can fix in post.
I can show you to fix in post. But having him dead center on the M makes the shot absolutely. What's interesting is I'm looking at the EXIF data on this one. This is, again, a 5D Mark III. It's shot at 70 millimeters, so you're wide open on the 70-200. But you're 1/320th of a second. Let me get that out there. But you're at f4. Was this a 70-200 f4, or was it a 2.8 and you stopped it down?
No, it was a 2.8. But if I would have kept it at 2.8, I was scared at how bright it would be because it is so much light coming into the lens. And if it would have been the original lights, which were made by my friend Micah, shout out, they were wood and like actual bulbs. But this is just projected on the LED to portray the idea of those old lights that Bring Me had. And they're so bright.
Oh, Micah from Old Sleeper, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Micah
Throwback.
Kennard.
I remember him when he was making them for everybody.
Yeah, he was the man. Good carpentry skills. But so I didn't want to risk having an overexposed image. I have always struggled with getting a bright image to look darker, which I know does not make sense. But it's always easier for me to get a dark image and just like make it brighter. I don't know.
Okay, man. There's no right or wrong way.
And the thing is, that actually makes sense because it's much easier to recover shadows. If you blow the highlights, they're pretty much gone at that point. I'm looking right now at what you did.
Big words. Highlights.
ISO-wise. Okay, so these were, one of them was, this one was ISO 1000, just in case anybody is wondering. And then the other one, the overhead, was ISO 1600. Just amazing shots. I am kind of curious, though, when you brought up something that I've talked with Adam a bunch about before, and that is the fact that you get to shoot the same show over and over, right? So you can go talk to a lighting director. You can get a lighting director to change his entire lighting design for a song because you want to get a shot. Most people obviously can't do that. But with those extra tools that you've got, access to people to talk to, finding out, somebody's going to jump in the air, whatever, you've seen the song before. How do you utilize those extra tools? The fact that okay, I've seen this song before. Do you make notes? Do you have a notepad? Do you make mental notes of, okay, next show I want to make sure I'm here? How are you handling that extra advantage that you get over a 3 from the pit shooter?
The notes I take are more on, again, because I'm not like the best editor, the notes I do make are on the settings I had when I took the shot, not so much the shot or the composition. So if I go for a shot and it's underexposed or overexposed, I'll be like, well, I know this is happening tomorrow, and it doesn't matter where I take it from.
Mm-hmm.
What should matter is how I am exposing the shot so that I get the shot that I want,
Yeah,
and so I will make little notes on my iPhone, because your iPhone's always readily available. And so I'll just, once I get back to the bus and I'm scrolling through and it shows me things, I was like, oh, this photo's dark. What is this? Why is the shutter 3000 on this? It should have been way less. So I'll note that I should not be shooting with a 3000 shutter.
And I think that the key to this shot is the haze and how much you've captured. Like, the haze is so perfect in this day too, and it gives it that glowy effect. And I mean, that's really nice too.
There's also something that can't be taught, and that is just luck. Sometimes you just get lucky, and I want to emphasize that with most of my photos. I could have all the composition I want. I can work so hard, and maybe that day Ollie goes, I don't want to do this, and I'm screwed. And all my hard work is just like, And so, yeah, you always need a little bit of luck in photography. At least, when it comes to the photo.
But you're creating that luck by putting yourself in those positions. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that, yeah.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah,
you can say it too.
Luck
You can
favors
say it too,
the prepared. Yeah, but luck favors the prepared. You when you got there, you knew your exposure. Seriously, yes, luck plays a role, but yeah, don't let that take away from this shot, because this really is the sharpness of the confetti. That's another thing I see is people they're thinking that it's, I need to get the exposure right. They lower the shutter down, and then you have blurry confetti. And here, the fact that confetti is sharp, as opposed to you can see the motion, absolutely makes this shot. I'm actually excited to see what you're going to do on this, because you're going to edit this in an unusual way today.
Oh, man.
Or unusual for us, but I mean, to be honest, it's probably usual for a lot of people, Steve. It might be.
Well, I use Snapseed on mobile.
Yeah.
All the time when I just have to turn a picture quick. I use my 5D4, Wi-Fi it to the phone, edit it, give it off to somebody. Do you normally shoot, if you have your computer available, do you normally use a Lightroom or a Photoshop?
I have never edited any photo I've taken on a computer.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
real fast in chat. Christian wanted to know if you knew about the scene or you just got the moment without knowing that it could happen. But my understanding is you knew about this, right?
Yeah, I knew that this is during Drown, and they always finish with the BMTH and a confetti blast. And so that's as much information as I have. Then the rest was up to me. I was like, I want to go and try to get this shot.
Yeah.
And then also the crowd is so in it, which is also one of those, you kind of get lucky. Sometimes the band is giving it their all and the crowd's not about it. Maybe they're tired. I mean, they've put up through 3 hours of music before the headliner goes on.
And I just want to say, like, everything matters too. Like, the reason that he has Ollie on the letter is, like, whether he moves to the left or to the right will affect where Ollie comes up on there. And whether he moves up and down will affect if those hands are going to intersect with the stage, or if they're going to intersect with just the bottom, or if they're going to intersect with the artist. So all those things of how high up you were, how far to the left and right you were, all those things matter as well. So I know it's luck, maybe getting the exact moment, but there's a lot of decisions that go into here, even though they might seem rather not very big decisions. They do matter a lot. And if
that's a good name. Who has that? Will? Will's a good name.
And part of it also is you're aware of it, right? Part of shooting is just being aware. So many people go, oh, I'm watching a moving scene. It's awesome. Capture a shot, a still frame. You have to be aware of those things intruding into a mic stand, or if he, picture, for those that don't think this way, picture if he was on the edge of that M and you had, a bright M behind half of him, but darkness behind another half of him. It just wouldn't work. You have to be aware of those as you're composing. The other thing is your exposure here was just so perfect because by bringing it to where you got, if you had gone any brighter, you would have lost some of the color in the streamers at the top. And you probably would have been able to get it back, but you got it all. You gave yourself such a palette to work with in editing here. It's just awesome. So let's watch some editing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you ready to edit, Carlos? Share your screen, Carlos.
I mean, it's gonna be really easy.
So while he's pulling that up for you guys who are just joining us, I'm Adam. This is Steve, and today we have Carlos on the show. Carlos is a music photographer, but he does merch and tours, and then kind of photography as well. So we have his photograph of Bring Me the Horizon, and he's about to edit it for us on his screen. And he's actually doing this on his iPad. So that's why
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, you can see me in the bottom corner. I don't know if you want to get rid of that, but yeah. Pull it
Oh,
up.
it's gone now. All
All
right,
right,
so
we're gonna
this is
catch
how I
some
would edit.
Pokemon today.
All right, this is how I would edit this photo, and I swear this is perhaps how long it took to edit the photo. So I went in. I went in here. I went to edit. I faithfully 100% of the time use this filter called C8 on Visco.
But
And I
before
did
you go
this.
on, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Tell people what app you're in, because some people were saying, "Oh yeah, I use Lightroom Mobile," and that's not what you're in.
No, this is called Visco. It's a totally free $0.90 app. Everyone has access to it. Feel free to get it. Also get Pokemon Go. Great way to kill time as
And
you
it
pull
doesn't
into
kill
New
you that
York
you
City.
have the number 5 sitting there?
Oh man, who knows? This is just things I will never use in my life. I don't know what because this is just the iPad. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So I open up Visco. Here we have both photos we've been discussing. I go to edit. I use this filter called C8. I mean, there's a lot to pick, but it's
You've
too
paid
much,
for these. Those are paid for. You have to pay to unlock them, I think. But right?
No, back in the day when you would subscribe and become a member of Visco, which I'm from the beginning, they just now I'm like grandfathered in. Whatever they come out with, I just get is awesome.
That's cool.
But I feel bad because I never look at any other ones except the one I found here. So we got good old trusty C8, which I never used to its full potential because this is insane. And so I would just click on here and I would bring it down to like 7. Oh my, look at that. It's already a more better photo. It's so much more better. And then I go to sharpen and I go 2. I do this for every photo ever, guys. You don't have to, it ain't the wand, it's the wizard. And I like to think I'm a decent wizard here. And so there we got that. And then we go to white balance and we warm this up a bit because we want those lights to be more yellow. But that's just me knowing how the lights originally were. And there's your photo. That's the photo I posted and everybody liked.
Good job.
I'm sorry I don't have.
That's the show. That's the show. No, I mean we're here to learn how people do what they do. There's no right or wrong, and that's the cool thing. Is like sometimes it's just simple, but it takes getting the shot you got to do that. You're shooting for C8 or whatever it was.
Exactly, and I'm shooting knowing my limitations in the editing department. I'm putting so much extra work into the composition to make the editing easier on me. Yeah. If that makes any sense.
Makes a ton of sense.
Connor just hit me up. He clips everything. I haven't posted many of them, but he said, Adam, we might not have to speed this one up for socials.
Well, so do me a favor then. Do you have the other shot up there as well?
Yeah, let's see. Let's back out.
But this one, you did have some decisions you made that are a little bit, you did do at least one more step.
Yes, in this one, I did do one more step.
So talk about when you got this photo, you brought it into Visco and you're looking at it, and then I know that your editing itself is pretty quick, but there's got to be things that go through your head before you edit that are like, okay, what am I going to do this photo? What problems does it have? Like, what do I need to make appear differently? What goes on in your head?
Oh, okay, yeah. So this was one of those photos let me see if I have the screenshot on my phone that someone edited how I would have liked to have edited. Oh, gosh,
we're going to go through all the edits after this, so don't worry about it. You can just explain it. We'll pull it up.
Oh, okay, but yeah. They lit it up how I wish. So for one, those white lights are really, really bright. And I think the term is highlight when they're like just so bright. I don't know if that makes sense.
You mean overexposed or blown, or do you just mean they're...
Yes, exactly. At least for my personal preference. And I just didn't know how to change them, to be honest. And so I just left it like that. And thankfully, my photo is not being blown up on the side of a building by Apple. So I don't have to worry too much about this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But you do want to be able to do those things. But going back to what Adam was saying, when I took this, like I said earlier, I knew that I wanted it to be portrait, which once you open up the shot, it's a hard choice to commit to because you're like, man, but this photo is also cool. Mm-hmm. They're both pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But hold up, this is still crazy. Why is
Explain to me when you say you knew you wanted it to be portrait, why?
Because
what was it in your head about portrait that's like, oh yeah, that's got to be portrait?
I wanted to portray the show as it actually was, which was cram-packed, high energy, and just filled with good vibes. And to me, the emptiness on the sides of the photo takes away from that vibe. And obviously, people that weren't at the show that don't know that was, it is a fire hazard to put everyone on the floor. So they cap the amount of people that are allowed down there. They wouldn't know that. They just see this photo and they go, it looks like Bring Me could have maybe fit a couple more people down there. And so I wanted to portray that vibe. So I just went to, is it here? Let me see. Crop, maybe?
The
Yeah, and then I
success of
just,
the show, yeah.
boom. Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. Look how quick I am. And I believe this is all I did, guys. I
You
just
want
framed
9
it
by
like this.
9 by 16 is your crop?
Is it, or was it 4? I don't remember exactly which
play around
one.
with it. Play around with it. See what you like.
9 by 16 being basically an Instagram story.
Oh no, then that didn't exist when we did this tour, so it wouldn't have been 9 by 16. It would have been like a little more shorter, maybe something like this.
All right.
Yeah. So I think I posted something similar to that, and that to me is not cheating, because a lot of people are like, well, now people don't know that, you know, it might have been empty on the sides. It's like, don't worry about what people think. This is what I wanted them to see, and they're seeing it, you know?
Well, and to that, you know, people say photojournalism has rules on what you can do. One of them, you are allowed to crop. And keep in mind, anytime you you choose a specific focal length, you're already making the choice. Had you had a 70 to 200 here and zoomed in,
oh man,
you would have already been making a choice of, I'm zooming in or I'm choosing a different focal length to intentionally leave something out or put something in. You're always making a cropping choice. No matter what you do, you make a crop choice.
Steve, I'm going to memorize that when somebody says something about cropping.
Well, there are some people I know online that make a big deal about the fact that they never crop and cropping is wrong. And it's like, no, you chose a 16 millimeter as opposed to a 200 millimeter.
Hey man, people draw value from weird things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I would have had the 70 to 200, gosh, that would have been amazing. Another thing I struggled with is how to edit the photos, because at the time, Bring Me had an aesthetic they were going for, which was either a black and white photo, which with a preset that only, who knows, Ashley has. And they had a very, like a look that they were going for. So as a photographer, it's always hard to be like, do I edit
do you match
what the
their
band wants me?
or your brand, or
Yeah, so it's a conversation to have with them. I mean, if they're hiring you, most likely they trust you fully with what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw some edits on Twitter with black and white that was insane, that I was like, man, this looks incredible. I wish I could edit like that. But
that's a really good point, though. I'm curious how both of you would answer this, because I'm guessing it's happened to you too, Adam.
Say what?
If Carlos, if you're taking over for the person who was their photographer that had left a couple days before, and now you've got to, you know, they're used to her photography, they're used to her vision, or her vision matches their vision, and you got to come in after the fact. How do you deal with that aspect of trying to choose? Am I matching what I see on their Instagram? Am I talking to them? Am I trying to emulate their quote unquote real full-time photographer? What are you doing there?
Adam, you answer that first.
Why?
I don't know. Because you're the full-time photographer.
I mean, I usually draw it from like I make all my decisions from a very goal-oriented place. So I think, well, what's my goal here? And that's to, you know, maintain my relationship and satisfy the client. So I would usually open that up to a conversation with the client, rather than like that. I think early on in my career, I might be like, well, I'm not doing that. This is what I want to do. But at this point, it's like, if I'm here working with somebody, it's a collaborative relationship, and it's just as much important what they want as what I want. However, like Carlos said, there's a certain amount of, we hired you to be in this position because we want you to contribute who you are, and we are working with you. That's different if you're working for somebody, which Carlos, to an extent, kind of was, because he was filling in a spot. He was fulfilling a fill-in. So it might be a little bit of a unique situation for his circumstance, but I don't know. You can tell, Carlos.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I only recently got to do a tour just as a photographer, which was a huge learning experience for me.
Congratulations, my friend. I did not know that, and I hope I did not offend you by introducing you as merchant stuff.
No,
That's
no,
awesome.
I take pride in my merch game.
Yes.
But yeah, these guys from California asked me to come out and just take photos of just them hanging, which was the biggest relief.
Who were you with?
Bad Sons.
Oh, cool.
They're awesome. I was just, yeah, they're the homies. And so I had done merch for them in the past, and they didn't have a photographer, and I would dabble whenever I could and send them photos. So when the opportunity came for them to do a full headliner, they hit me up and they're like, hey, we have a merch guy that we love that you were filling in for last time, but we really liked working with you. How would you like to come out and just do photos and not worry about merch? And I was open about it. I was like, I've never done that. I like taking photos for fun. You know, I don't want to feel like I have to work, because I feel like the pressure of having to take photos is bad for me. I like taking photos for fun. If I feel like I have to do it
as soon as it becomes a job.
Yep.
Yes, it ruins it for me as soon as it becomes a job. And so they were like, dude, no pressure, please. Like, just come and take photos, just hang out.
That's how I feel about. I was gonna say that's how I feel about the internet. I feel like it was so much more fun before it was everybody's job and career. I was like archiving my old Instagram stuff, and I was like, dang, there's so many photos of my feet on here. I miss the days I could just post photos of my feet.
I mean,
sorry to interrupt you.
You have a demographic.
I know you're on a riff there, and I was like, oh, he reminds me of something.
No, it's good that you slowed me down. I would have just kept going.
Yeah, you're gonna blast off.
Yeah, I'm about to. But yeah, it's cool that I don't have to have pressure. So I just came along, and they're like, we're gonna have photographers at every show. We're giving out 3 photo passes a day, so no pressure on shooting the show. The main reason we want you is because you are just hanging out with us and you capture those behind the scenes, as you would say, moments, which I think are the most valuable. Not to take away from live photography, but people want to see what they don't see, if that makes any sense.
Exactly. I've tried to say that to people so many times, and that is, you still want to get the live stuff, but if you have that access, you got to get those shots that make people that were in the audience not just go, oh, I remember the show, but, oh, that's what it's like. Oh, that's what it looks like from there. Oh, do I see myself in the crowd?
You speak so good, Steve.
It's my voice.
It's my voice. But no, I agree with that 100%.
It's the delivery, not the content.
Yeah, it's the delivery, definitely not the content.
Because on that tour is what encouraged me to buy this little camera. Because the guys were going to coffee shops every morning, and they really enjoy their off days. They would go like water rafting and like a cool like Florida thing. And I was like, I went with the 5D Mark III on a boat on a little inflatable. And I was like, whatever, if the 5D falls, it falls. No big deal. But I was like, if only there was a camera much smaller than this camera. And there is. So I bought it.
We got it. We got it on lock.
Parker said Carlos has got so many great quotes tonight.
Yeah,
totally agree.
We can do like a quote thing on Twitch, right, where people can like do commands for quotes. I think we could get that. Parker, I don't know if you want to take note. I modded you today. I don't know if you noticed, but Parker will get on that. We had Justin too, but he's a busy guy. He also streams. So we got Parker also here, a little tech savvy guy. We'll get those. There's some cool things you could do on Twitch.
Dude, Twitch is crazy. Just found out about it today.
Yeah,
Savvy Lee.
That's
I guess is how it is. Said capturing the personality, not just the live performance, and that's what when I look through your Instagram feed, that's what I see. I see personality.
What camera is that again, by the way? Keep going, but just...
No, yeah, what is that?
This is the Fuji X100. This is the V, one of the newest ones, but you can get any of them and it'll get the job done, I feel like.
And what were you saying, Steve?
I don't remember.
Should I leave? Should I go?
It comes and it goes. It's just
personality.
Gone.
It was a compliment, so I remember.
Oh, it was the personality thing. And that is, people don't realize, yes, you can frame a shot and still not have personality in it. Capturing personality, that's one of the things I love about Adam's work, actually. Capturing personality is, but right? It's, you can take a picture that should have personality and you can look at it and go, it's a great shot, but there's something missing. Capturing personality is really hard.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but I would say like early on in my career, I think I'm like 16 years into this now, and I would say early on when I started doing this, the photography was super transactional for me, and I feel like when you're looking at a photo, you're experiencing somebody else through this image, right? Like you're experiencing something that you're seeing and whatnot. And when I did it at the beginning, there was no emotion attached to it, and I actually thought the opposite. I was like, I would be like, why would you want emotion? And like I was just young, you know what I mean? And now as I get older, I'm like, oh, I get it. There's people, there's human beings. We want to represent and show these things. So I understand what you're saying, Steve. And I think Carlos is pretty good at that stuff too, because he's an emotional person in regards to, he gets excited, he gets stoked, and all this stuff. And
man, I am.
Did something happen with your headphones?
You're good. I'm trying to grab a charger because my iPad's like on 2%.
Dude, do it. This is Twitch. You can do whatever you want. Go do it.
And when he comes back, I'm curious if he thinks, because he can't hear right now, so we'll talk behind his back. I'm curious if he thinks the culture he was raised in, how that affects his photography. I'm going to ask you, Carlos. Can you hear me?
Sorry about that.
I just got back. I heard my name.
You're good.
Okay. So how do you think your Cuban heritage colors your photography, if it does?
That's a really good question.
We're not going anywhere.
How
you can think. We can hear you think. I'm okay with that.
I don't know. I think if anything, it makes me favor color. I know some people favor black and white or certain color palettes, but Cuba is very colorful. We have colors everywhere. The cars, the houses.
Thanks, Donut.
So, and I grew up around that. And so I always favor, most of my photos are probably in color. Very rarely do I choose black and white. And so if I had to pick how it affects, it's that. It makes me prefer color over black and white, which I'm sure a lot of people would choose the other way, you know?
Do you ever, you've said a number of times that you're not great at editing. Do you want to learn Lightroom and stuff, or are you good where you're at?
Man, I am so good where I'm at.
So honestly, Carlos, I think you'd be surprised. I don't think you need to learn it, but I think you should try it. And it's weird.
Yes.
It's weird to me to have to tell you to try something, because that seems like something that I would never have to tell you. But it's so easy, and even if you don't end up using it, I think you would learn just based on what you can do with it, and it would affect the way you shoot in a greater than zero way. Like it would affect, and it wouldn't be negative. It would be like, okay, now I know that when I get this shot, I can still use this shot if I can do these. Does that make sense? Like it wouldn't. There was nothing about it that I think would ever make you be like, I hate photography more now.
No, I agree with you. I would need the time. Editing takes time, I feel like, at least in my situation where I'm doing merch
sleep
and
less.
I'm just trying to, sleep less.
Come on,
you don't
dude.
have to talk. You don't have to talk to kids all day. Don't worry about it.
Sleep is for the nighttime only.
I admire people, man. Like working alongside Jarvis. He is an editing machine.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
And it's an art form. A lot of people hate on people that edit, or they'll over edit a photo if there's even such a thing. And there is, Steve.
Yeah, there is.
I guess I meant like how much time you spend on editing a photo, not that you could over edit the photo. I see what you're saying. Like you just make it blown out and destroyed, and you're like, you over edited it. Because Jar, man, he'll just sit there and work on photo and video till like 3 a.m. And I'm like, what an animal.
But that's the other end, That's the other end. You don't have to go full crazy.
No, I mean, I've had shots, you'll spend 30 seconds on, but the tools, here's the thing. It never hurts to have another tool in your toolbox, right? If you could pull it up in Lightroom on your computer that's sitting behind you and just go, you know what? I just want to do auto, or I want to hold the shift key and double click the word black, which will auto set my black point. Those little extra tools, it may open up a whole different creative spot in your mind that you don't know exists because you've never exercised it.
Yeah, I mean,
with your shooting skill, the reason I bring it up is with your shooting skill, I can't wait to see what you do in something like a Lightroom.
Also,
man,
Mel,
thank you.
Mel wants to know how long did it take you to figure out your editing style? How long did it take you to find that filter?
Good question.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think about it. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can think about before you had that style, and then when you stumbled upon it, was it like a thing that just happened naturally, or did you be like, I need to make a style, or how did that work, if at all?
It just happened organically. You obviously try your hands at a lot of things before you stick to something. A lot of people want to go out and find this one thing and spend their whole time finding it, and that's very difficult to do. So I found what works best for me was to try multiple things, and once I excelled at one and found it to be cool, then I stuck to that and perfected that style.
So you kind of just followed what you felt was right. It's just not like you were like, I'm gonna do this. You're like, okay, this is cool, so I'm gonna go here and then here. Yeah.
And sometimes that would open up other avenues. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And while doing that, I found like, oh, this works in this situation. I found this from you. It's that this isn't like a style choice, but if I'm going to take a portrait of somebody, I want to try to be as close as possible. That's just my personal choice.
Lewis popped up in chat, by the way. You know him. He gifted a sub. Just so you know, I'm listening to you, but we
Luis,
talk. Yeah, Luis.
Great photographer.
Yeah, where he's
Him and Ray
is that
Duker.
the real Valise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's coming. He's gonna be on the show on Thursday. It's gonna be great. Anyway, keep going, Carlos.
I'm gonna tune in. Okay. But no, I was going to like the being up close thing where it's like I got that from you on your on stage portraits. I don't know if you remember that you would do that.
Yeah. I remember talking to you about him even.
And dude, and I love that idea because most people think like a portrait is capturing the entire subject and be like, oh, here's a portrait of them on stage. Mm-hmm. And I liked your take on it where like, here's their face.
Yeah.
This is their face during that moment. And so, yeah, there wasn't a time to answer the question where I found the style. I just kind of can remember back to it, but I just landed on it.
The style came to you.
Yeah, the style came to me, bro.
Yeah. You just
it's kind of like how you dress. Like in middle school, you're definitely setting out to dress a certain way to fit in with your peers. But as you get older, you just find yourself wearing something. And I don't think you could recall back to when you chose to dress like that. You were like, I don't remember exactly when, but I just started dressing like this. This morning. It's great. This morning, you know?
It's an evolution, really. It's just evolving.
And it's closely connected with you and how you identify and who you are. And that's kind of what you're saying. It's like, it's just what I like. Just what I like.
It's what I like.
What I do. Yeah.
You want me to pull up some of the social shots, Adam?
Yeah. So Carlos, thank you so much for donating these shots to everybody. Everybody make sure you say thank you to Carlos, whether it's in chat or on Twitter. Or, like
it's my pleasure.
It's I can't tell you like it is hard. Like some photographers turn me down and they won't do this. Like it's a thing. And I asked Carlos to do
Who
this.
Who are they? Say their name.
Well, they're not everybody who's not on the show. And but I texted Carlos and he was like, yeah, sure, I'll send them to you right now. And I just didn't have anybody for this week, to be honest. And I was like, oh, let's just use Carlos because the home.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, can I interrupt really quick?
Yeah, go. You can do whatever you want.
Steve said, here, I did edit a photo that took a long time for me to edit.
You can share your screen again if you want.
Do it. I want to see it.
I don't think I have it. It's as a raw file. Steve, could you pull up my Instagram?
I sure can. Coming up right now.
Okay, this photo has a giant, this first photo right there, has a giant bar of light across the entire photo and ruins the whole photo. Like, I want to say 50%. Yeah, 50% of that photo is just the light rig. And I just used a really nice free app called Clone App, and I did the thing there, and it did it all for me.
I want to see the before so bad now.
I know. I'm thinking the same thing.
You gotta have it somewhere. Come on, Carlos.
Please.
Okay, hold up.
Steve and I will. Hey, 2 minutes. You can do it in 2 minutes. We'll talk.
All right, here. I'm gonna try to find it.
You guys.
I got this.
Yeah, you guys ready for this? Let's go. Oh, everybody's saying thank Carlos. I'll just say I love our community. Thank you guys for being so nice to Carlos and welcoming to everybody. Like, this is. Like, I will tell you, this stuff didn't exist when I was younger, and I wish it did. So I'm really happy that we can be a part of the community with you guys. And thank you for, I don't know, you are the community. So thanks for being here and being nice to each other. And, like, every time you comment on somebody's post, respond, like, that stuff changes people's day and life. So you are helping each other grow.
It really does. I was not aware of the power of this little community. So I went on Twitter, and every single day I'm logging in, and there was so many people contributing to the conversation, complimenting each other, gassing each other up.
Crush photos, like
awesome.
Bro, we had to settle with Flickr groups. That's what we had to settle for. Yeah, dude, they're good people. It's cool. They come here every Sunday too. Sometimes on Thursday if they're really cool.
Really?
That's the thing. And the neat thing is, like Adam said, when this didn't exist, you know, some people either don't know, they're not old enough, or they forget that you had to be in person to just even meet someone. And like one of my favorite social medias is Twitter. And you know why? Because Twitter is the ability to text message somebody who you would never have a phone number for.
Yeah. Yo, back in the day when Twitter first came out, the only way you could post on Twitter is you had to text message Twitter. You had to text a number. You couldn't even post it on your phone. Or get I remember those days. You couldn't even post photos.
And just really what we have now, where you can go into the Discord
text
channel.
4040. Thanks for
text 4040.
Thanks by Bob Ree for following. I hope it doesn't. I hope it's not distracting when I thank all these people, but I appreciate them following.
And by the way, on the Flickr comment, Flickr still actually has a little bit of benefit. It still shows the best version of pictures uncompressed probably on the net still.
Oh yeah, we really need that, Steve.
I know, but it does matter. I mean,
it does matter. I'm with Steve on that.
There's times I post a picture and then I see it online and go, "What the hell did they do to my shot?"
Yeah, where did these Reds get crushed?
All right, here we go. Shot is coming. February 29th. Gosh, dates are so cool.
Wow, that's almost Valentine's Day. That's a really bad joke. Sorry.
Is it? When is Valentine's Day?
February 14th.
14th.
It's like 2 weeks. I don't know. It's not even a joke. That's how bad it is.
Oh, hey, here we go. I'm going to move the iPad. Oh, and let me see if I can just flip the camera.
I remember when my Flickr account joined with Yahoo.
Oh, gosh.
What are you doing? Oh, let's go. This is the original? You can just text.
Well, it's on the laptop, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I love this. This is funny. All right,
wait.
Oh, there it is. See the bar in the middle?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now go back to now, Steve.
So it's Truss. Okay, do you have internet on that machine?
Yes, of course.
Put that picture in the chat, and I'll grab it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my lord.
How's he gonna? He has to upload it then.
In the Zoom chat. No, if he sends it on the Zoom chat, can you do a picture in Zoom chat?
Text it to him through Zoom that we're chatting.
Yeah, you can upload a file in Zoom.
But he's not on Zoom on his computer. He's on it on his
Oh,
iPad.
That's right. All right, never mind then.
We'll do this later.
But there's iMessage on the computer, right? So I could just text it to Adam.
Text it to Adam, yeah.
Yeah. Text it to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, peanut butter jelly. Bang, bang. Kaboom.
Peanut butter jelly. It's a meal.
You want the JPEG or the RAW?
Jambalaya.
Send me a JPEG. We don't have all night.
That's what I was about to say. Dude, if you're trying to go, just let me know, bro, okay?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. My ancient computer is sending you this.
Actually, we kind of do have all night. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm supposed to do things after this, so I don't.
I know, and I've got chicken satay with peanut sauce out there.
Oh yeah.
All right, Adam.
Thank you,
I sent it to you.
Angelina. What's up, San Diego friend? All right, I'm gotta close the Twitch chat.
All right, I'm gonna check out this Twitch chat because I've been neglecting it all day.
You're VIP'd, Mr. Futurama 6565.
Oh, hey, is Donuts in here? Maybe. I don't have donuts.
Donuts. All right, Steve, I'm messaging this to you.
Okay.
And then you can pull it up.
Gosh, this chat has been going on.
Are you texting
night.
it to me?
Yeah.
This is incredible. Right. People are so cool. People are so nice.
And I love the fact that we just go with it and it's whatever happened. Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We're chilling.
Oh.
People here are chilling. We've been a steady group of 55 all night. What?
We can fill up like a quarter of Chain Reaction if we hosted a photo thing there.
Yeah, we could make a coffee shop stay in business.
There we go. All right, here we go. Coming at you. Let me jump back over there.
Let's go.
This photo just went from Miami to California into space.
Now you can see.
Oh my God.
Light truss.
No, you got to share a screen, Steve.
Oh, I didn't click share. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, there it is. Light truss. All right, now give us a little before and after.
All right, hold on. We got that.
But yeah, so I edit sometimes.
Yeah, how fast?
Do some stuff.
How fast can you flip
through? That's the after. That's the before.
Oh wow, you cheater! You're not a real photographer.
You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't have noticed. I couldn't tell. I'm pretty good at telling. I could not have tell.
Hold on.
And I did it on my. Guess what? I did it on my phone because my phone is cool.
I'm coming with you.
Wow, that app did a really good job.
Odin Images said they started watching in their bed and now they're on their train to work. That's cool. That's
the app is called, for anybody asking, the app is called Retouch. Retouch. Sorry, accent kicked in hard there.
You're fine. I love your accent.
But yeah, it just looks like a little thing.
That's great.
All right, so you want to go through some of these?
Yeah, so before we go through, I guess I would say, like, yo, Carlos, what do you think of everybody's edits?
They're all much better than my edits. Every one of them. You pick a random edit, way better than mine, instantly.
This one's cool.
This is amazing.
This is from Board Art.
Which is Lexi, I believe.
Oh, really?
The last thing I am is bored looking at this. This
wow.
is so
this guy's got
sick.
Jokes. Give us a little.
I got here.
Steve, slide over. What is it? Is it the original or what? What's slide over?
Oh, you're right.
Uh,
yeah.
Oh, that's the edit.
Oh no, it's another edit.
It's the edit. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty.
There's the original.
Original.
Wow, just really, really nicely done. And we got this one.
They got a job ready,
Original
waiting for them
back.
to make ticket
I like the
stubs.
clarity they brought into this one. A little noisy, but I like the clarity. This one was really interesting. This was the one, Carlos, I was telling you about.
Whoa.
They got crazy.
They're just they're their own LD. They installed lights in their session.
They just became. It reminds me of It looks like he went Super Saiyan and Kamehameha, just shot everywhere.
That's so sick. How does he come up with that? He's like, I got it.
Designer who.
This one.
Oh, look at Tony.
We're in my tag photos.
Really brought the color out, brought the lighting out in front of the group.
I love the double effect where they just almost like, I don't know what it'd be called, but they duplicated the
they like
BMTH.
shadowed it or watermarked it in the back. What else? So we got that one. Hold on.
That was cool too.
Pink Daddy.
Yeah, I saw like a really cool edit. I think it was Parker's maybe on Twitter. I'm excited to go to with the
that
color.
edit is great.
Twitter.
I love that monochromish look.
So you guys try to use the hashtag if you can, but I'm not sure if it's showing everybody's. But we'll scroll through. And Carlos, if there's anything you saw that you want us to make bigger,
so
just
that's Parker's right there.
Shut it out. Maybe let me see his other one. Let me see his or it wasn't Parker's, but somebody's. I'll know it when I see it, and I'll tell you I really liked it. But yeah, let's keep going. Jeremy's always on here. Can we check out Jeremy's? It's up one more.
That black and white one.
Yeah, right
looks
there.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's nice. That's really nice.
How do they do this? Who are these people?
Well, we got to get some of them on the show. One time, Carlos, we got this guy, Tom Groot. Groot. He animates stuff a lot. He didn't do one this time, unfortunately, but we brought him on the show just to show us how he animated it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That black and white is dope because it's not just black and white. It's good. It's good black and white.
That one's cool. With the volume thing in the bottom left.
It also, wow, that is cool. But it also reminds me of, the Mr. Crab meme? When he's just like, that's what I think when I see that effect. But it's incredible.
One thing, though, if you're going to put the volume, do the radial filter before you put the volume on there because some of the lines are.
No,
you got that, too.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, after we do this, we'll definitely hit the hashtag, too. We got time for everything.
Interesting.
Well, that's cool. They show their little palette at the bottom.
Whoa, is that like ocean? Like just waves?
Yeah. It looks like water.
Wow.
It comes in waves. I close my eyes.
Hired.
Who was that? Let me see.
No, we're going to use the hashtag also, guys. Don't worry about it. What? We're doing both.
See, the thing, too, is when you're not knowledgeable, this seems like it would have taken 9 hours. At least it would have taken 9 hours for me.
I like that one, too.
Steve, go back for a sec.
Yeah, all right.
After this. That one from Slim Boy down.
Oh, there we go. This is from
on the right.
Mazalfin. The waves are from a photo I grabbed in San Diego.
I think this one. No, this is the one. There's one that's like red and white. Maybe that is it actually. Yeah, that was the one. It's like got red and white in it. I don't remember. But anyway, this is cool.
This one?
No, that one's wild. But yeah, a lot of cool.
Interesting.
Edits. Oh, that's wild.
Oh, I
like that.
Nuts.
They put them together.
That's it. They cheated the system.
They're like, both photos in one. We didn't.
I got you right here.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
There's no bacon on the side here. Bacon is on the burger.
Who is that? That's Luis Guillermo.
Good job, Luis.
Oh, Guillermo is a strong brown name. Respect.
Yeah, very, very nice. I like this one too, actually. Wait, where was it?
Oh, I like that. Just see the crowd.
Yes, this is sick.
Carlos, anything that people did that you just didn't even think of doing?
This was my favorite black and white, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Because this really works as a high contrast with the dark, dark stage. Mm-hmm. You can see the upper riser.
Yeah, the band looks great.
If you guys have any
with this black and white,
any questions for Carlos or looking through photos, feel free to ask him in the chat. We'll ask him to him.
Shelly Sketch.
Oh, go. I think that's the one Adam was talking about with black. It's like red. All the reds are
Oh,
accented.
Where?
Accented there.
This one?
The Suna. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Go,
I don't know. I
go
gotta
right.
find it on my own computer, but I can't see. Nah.
This, I remember seeing this, and those dudes' shirts at the bottom left, all the saturation is through the roof. The orange is
Should've
the
saved
most orange I've seen. It's dope.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
cool.
Some really. Oh, this one was nice.
Oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, that's cool.
This was awesome.
That's just high contrast to craziness, but I like it.
Yeah, but it works for this shot because of that silhouette.
Security guards have never looked so epic.
Ooh, someone says, Jeremy Music says, did I fix the burnt out light on the M? Probably didn't, Jay. Before you hopped on, I went through the edit and it takes 10 seconds.
Oh, there's a little overlay too. That's cool.
Whoa, this is so sick.
That's creative.
Yeah, that's
this is the horniest thing I've ever seen. This is great. Oh my
God. You heard it from Carlos.
Yeah.
Who's this? Shout out to whoever this is.
To Elena.
Elena. Yeah.
Elena Toronto. What the?
Oh, they did a little 360 on this one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Let me jump over to Instagram really quick. And this one was nice.
You can hit the hashtag too, Steve, if you want on Twitter. I want to make sure we get those people.
Already got it lined up and ready to go.
Who did this red Karen? That photo we were just on. It's really hard for me to get a photo to be all one color, and she did it all orange, and then still have things be able to make out what things are. That was really cool. Shout out.
I like Wait, slow down a little bit. Let's see. What about that red one with the BMTH that's red is cool.
How do they do that? How would you do that?
Let's see. This is out. Just dude, honestly, message them and ask them, and they will send you a video.
Alvaro Mora.
If you message him,
dude, he could have in Lightroom used the
Steve,
selection tool.
Yeah, hit his above shot. It could be. There's a lot of ways.
See, I like that.
Those colors
That's
are cool.
nice use. Yeah.
These are very cool colors. The orange on the steps to the left and right.
Nice 360 edit, Lost Before Fade. It was cool. They did the little Earth looking guy. Oh,
let's see. We got questions. What colors do you like using or seeing in pictures? I like everything. I don't know what I'm looking for till I see it, and I like this. This is incredible. I would have never thought
the
of
stage
doing
out,
this,
but brought everything else down.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah,
it looks old school.
And it has like an 1830s vibe,
like a film type effect. Let me jump over to Instagram real quick.
Hey guys, I love seeing your photos. Thanks. I don't want to have to make it so people can't post links, but let's keep it to having Steve pull them up or the mod throw them in the chat, just because otherwise it's going to be a barrage of people throwing them in there, and I want to avoid that. But I know some people forgot to submit and stuff. I apologize. So I didn't tell you not. I didn't tell you not to do it before. So it's okay.
Calibration sliders. Mira, tipo sorry. He used the calibration sliders.
No, you're
fine.
He just
gave me the cheat code.
Don't worry about it,
to change the colors.
Connor, you don't have to throw everyone in there. Don't worry about it.
That's nice.
Yeah,
really
some cool
kind
stuff.
Of lightened
there was a dude who I forgot, but he actually filled in the mosh pit, which was so interesting to see. That, yeah, I was like, hey, that's your thing. Respect.
Yeah, people get creative. I like it.
I mean, it's like, wow. People thinking outside the box. That's
what
kind
is
of
this?
neat.
Is this
kind of a neat color
Carlos?
treatment? I actually like this.
Is this Carlos getting tagged on Instagram right here?
No, this is Raw Editing Challenge.
Oh, hashtag
Raw Editing Challenge. Yeah,
it works. The hashtag works.
Yeah, it definitely works. There's tons of shots in here, but then I've also got people that tagged you.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
This one to me though, that one wins the internet today.
That's a cool.
They just make me want to go to concerts again.
Effort right there. Danish Mohid. Shout out to them if they're watching. They had an edit I liked.
What is this? Oh. Yeah, Steve. Maybe slow down a tiny bit. It's a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Steve ain't got time for you, bro. He's got
it's a little bit of breathing. I know there's a lot of good ones. I know, but I want a chance. I need a chance to like digest what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more. I hope that's okay.
I like this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of colors in there. That's good.
What I love is people were able to take these. Ooh, nice high contrast. And they put a little blur on the outside edges.
I was about to say, why is the confetti coming out that fast?
Yeah.
That's bazooka time. Just
Yeah, that I like that. I just like that people are really taking what is a great raw shot on both these images and working them tastefully, right? They're not most of the time overcooking them. They're treating them with the respect as the artist that they like. I like that.
No, agreed. It's good. People are doing a good job. Thank you guys for editing all these too.
Yeah, anyone taking time out of their day to just edit some photos I took is very humbling. So thank you guys very much. It really makes me feel valued. It's cool. It's dope. Thank you.
Yeah, there's some.
What was I going to say?
Ooh,
Well, cool. Well, I think we got a good kind of selection of everything. If you guys, like I said, we see a little snap bit of this, we'll try a little snippet of it. But if you go out there, check out the hashtag, leave some comments. If you guys ever want help with your editing challenge, join us on Discord. And we kind of discuss stuff over the week there. There's resources on there if you need help with lenses, cameras, or anything. And then people who go on this chat will go on there as VIPs.
We should make like a challenge to shoot someone next year that the people watching want to see us shoot. And then we have something to strive for. Like, comment who you want Adam to photograph that he hasn't photographed yet.
Oh, God.
And then
Carlos is taking initiative.
Yeah.
Just say Jim Carrey. Make it happen.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is the Discord. So if you guys ever want to join us on here, we have all these different categories on the side. And
there's Brooks.
Yeah, there we go. You can submit on here, and people are working. Some of these might be a work in progress, but it's a good place to kind of hang out. And the more people that are active on
click on that photo right there that's purple that you were just hovering over.
The portrait one, this one?
Yeah. Someone, I also forget their name, I saw a photo on Twitter where they added shadows to the people in the photo pit. So as if the light source is so bright that the individuals have shadows on the ground. And I thought that was an extra hard, like, girthy flex. Like, they were going in. I wish I would have taken a screenshot, but I know for a fact there's no shadows on any of those individuals, and they added it to their photo.
That's
and
crazy.
I thought that was sick.
They're putting it in overtime.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well, Carlos, if anybody has any more questions for him, hit him up on Twitter, but I think we're going to finish up here if that's cool with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go. I like my friends.
I mean, we don't have to go. We could just talk more, too, if you want.
No, it is getting late. It is 9:38 for me.
That's right. You're later.
It's 6:38 here. I don't know how that works. How can it be?
Time is relative.
Time is relevant. What?
Relative. Interstellar. Come on, bro.
Time is my aunt. Okay.
The real Valise asked Carlos, how often do you shoot on film, if you ever do?
I have. If I've had a disposable camera, which I think they shoot on film, and then you develop it like at CVS.
We almost forgot. Sorry, keep going, Carlos. I'll say afterwards.
Yeah, but I've never owned a film camera. I've tried shooting film in high school. Like, a friend gave me one, and I bought a roll, and every photo came out black, and I went, no, this isn't for me.
Yo, Carlos, we forgot.
Okay.
Shower shoes or no shower shoes?
Oh, no shower shoes.
Yeah, my guy.
Why you wear shoes when you shower? That's bad.
Yeah, look at that. Showering. Look at the emote we have in chat right now. Can you see it?
Okay, let's see.
Do you see the
3:40 a.m. here. Back to the Future. Shower shoes or no shower shoes? SS Venenji. Veninja.
Do you see the emote, the emote popping up in chat?
After Captain Lasagna?
Yeah.
Like an actual no shower. Is that a thing?
Yeah, no shower shoes.
Yeah, no shower shoes, no shower clothes. Preferably if you're showering, there's nothing else in there but your body.
Yeah. Carlos, who's your favorite artist or band you photographed, and who do you enjoy photographing the most? That's from Lost Before Fate.
Oh, man, that is so hard. I really enjoy shooting very active bands. So Chariot, Let Live, Fever 333.
Let Live is so fun to shoot.
Beartooth, not for anything because I work for them, but they really, man, if you're moving on stage, it makes me energized. It portrays, I mean, yeah, you're moving. It's cool. And it makes me feel good. Not that I wouldn't have fun shooting cigarettes after sex or like explosions in the sky or a very mellow act. but I enjoy. I get into it when I'm shooting. You might even catch me bobbing my head. Like I'm enjoying the performance as well as working. And I think that goes all across the board for all crew members. Like the LDs are always jamming their heads. Like you have to enjoy your job. And so,
have
yeah.
you mentioned Let Live, and Jason now is with Fever 333. Have you shot Fever?
Yes, it's a chaos.
Yeah,
they're out of their minds.
Yeah.
I miss Let Live, man. I did a tour with Let Live multiple times. All of Warped Tour, all of the Under Oath farewell tour. There was 2 years where I felt like I was on every tour with them, and they put on a cool. That's a band that you can't take notes on. Every night you're gonna have a different show. Let Live.
Oh yeah.
And you just better be prepared for the chaos.
At Self Help once, Jason jumped off the stage into the pit and started helping crowd surfers straight across the pit onto the stage.
Amazing.
And that's a photo. I just love it.
Yeah, he's definitely a team player, that's for sure. He's crazy.
Jason just has an actual switch, which very few people have. Most people are aware that they're on stage.
Thank you,
Jason, the moment he steps on stage, he just turns on full performance mode, and it's chaos. You're looking at his eyes. There's no man there. It's just.
Yeah.
He's like, where did you go, sir?
Yeah, it's insane. I love it.
Yo.
Shout out to Jason. He recently did an emo night speaking thing with Sky from Issues, and I tuned in. It was incredible, very insightful information for
check that out.
People like myself who aren't, Black and have to go through what they go through on a day-to-day basis. So
other people of color.
Yeah, not that. I mean, brown people, we have our own things, but it's not the same.
You know what I meant, though, like the same.
Of course.
What was I gonna say? The American. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming, Carlos.
Dude, thanks for having me.
If you guys
props to you and Steve. What you guys have going on here is, I think, something really cool, and it's gonna inevitably grow because how could it not? It's super sexy.
Well, we got good people here. Like they're growing it with us. Like they leave comments online, they're interactive with each other, and that's what really I think the attraction here is, like the community. You know, I know we're lucky enough to host it, but they're lucky enough to have them with us here.
Maybe you can have someone host one day. Like if you get sick, you'll have someone who's been in the chat every single day from the beginning, and they know enough about Carlos. The show. No, not me.
I think you're one of the best guests we've had. I mean, I'm not trying to put everybody, but you're very well articulated. So you can. Connor wants to host.
It's the attitude too. I look forward to meeting you in person, man.
It's gonna be great.
Self Help. I feel like you might have met him at Self Help. Steve actually made me think of you by recommending somebody else, but I don't know who he was talking about.
And I mentioned Beartooth, but it was somebody else I was thinking of. It wasn't you.
It's probably John.
I'm glad he got you.
Oh yeah, it could have been.
Because I've shot every Self Help out in California.
Thank you,
not
Angelina.
the other ones, but.
Yeah, the last one was incredible. It was
great.
Under Oath, Day to Remember, Animals as Leaders, which Tobe, oh my gosh, that dude is
Tosin?
insane. Yeah, Tosin.
Yeah. Yo, I think we're gonna, before we go, Carlos, are you down to, this isn't the Twitch streamer I was talking about because he doesn't come on for 15 minutes, but I think we're gonna rate a Magic the Gathering streamer so everybody can check out some Magic the Gathering.
Dude, I'm down. Let's go out on that. That'd be sick.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
And to everybody that stopped in and watched this, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out. It's so fun having you guys in there asking questions.
Sorry, I feel, thank you so much, everybody. Let's go watch some Magic the Gathering. This guy's awesome. He has a great podcast. I look up to him a lot. All right, we are rating.
Let's do it.
12 viewers. Do you see it pop up on the screen on the one you're on Twitch? Carlos, if you look, it says raid. And we're rating. Raid now.
Let me see. It's got to be over here to the left.
I think we're all there now.
All right. Oh, yeah, we're on there. Oh, he's got a good hand.